Coming up on 6:49, time for the morning rush. The governor is expressing her dismay after a proposal aimed at tackling the state's pretrial detention system was tabled in the Roundhouse. Senate Bill 122, if passed, would presume an accused violent offender should stay in jail until trial, and it would be the defense's responsibility to prove otherwise. Some Democratic lawmakers questioned its constitutionality. A pair of gun bills, they are now heading to the House floor for a vote. One strengthens the state's red flag law passed in 2020. The other would create a 14-day waiting period for someone to buy a gun. If passed by the House, they will need approval from the Senate to reach the governor's desk. A plan to solve the problem of kids sleeping inside CYFD offices is likely to face another committee before a possible full House vote. House Memorial 10 would create a new state task force aimed at getting CYFD to investigate and come up with a solution for the problem. Yesterday, that memorial unanimously passed the House Government Elections and Indian Affairs Committee. Zoe.
We're looking forward to a lovely afternoon of weather. Today is actually going to be a degree or two warmer than yesterday, if you can believe it. A bit more cloud coverage arriving to far southern New Mexico and maybe an isolated sprinkle across the far southern Rio Grande Valley, but most of us are going to remain dry and above average, all ahead of our next storm system that's going to arrive later this week.
A man accused of shooting and killing his dad during an argument will not spend any more time behind bars. In 2022, Ernest Sena Jr. pointed a gun at his father, Ernest Sena Sr., and it accidentally went off. Sena Jr. pleaded no contest to the charges and was sentenced to 18 months of supervised probation. An elderly woman is facing more than a dozen charges after Bernalillo County Sheriff's deputies found a disturbing scene inside of an East Mountain home. Deputies say 74-year-old Deborah Baraglino has been living in that home with an 83-year-old man for about 20 years. Law enforcement uncovering a severe case of hoarding along with 29 neglected animals, 10 of them already dead. New Mexico families could qualify to get extra money this tax season. The state has announced a new child tax credit that is worth up to $600 per qualifying child. The tax credit is expected to provide nearly $180 million to more than 292,000 families in the state. Paper returns are due on April the 15th, but those who file electronically have until the 30th. Zoe.
Our Metro Threat Index for today is just at a 1 out of 10. Honestly, it could probably be a 0 because we really don't have any issues to worry about weather-wise this afternoon. This morning, it's chilly. You need to bundle up, but dress in layers because near 60 degrees is going to arrive by later today.
The Albuquerque Public School District is looking for your feedback before they select their new superintendent. The two finalists are Thomas Ahart, the former superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools in Iowa, and Dr. Gabriela Duran Blakey, the current chief operations officer for APS. Public forums are being held at 9 this morning and at 6 this evening, all at the Bonifacio Professional Development Center. One New Mexico high school robotics team is now getting ready to take their skills to the national stage. The Tonkus robotics team from Shiprock High School is now set to compete in the National Robotic Tournament in Phoenix on February the 16th and 17th. They're going to be competing for the chance to qualify for the World Tournament, which is going to be held in Houston in April. 15 countries and the European Union have now suspended funding to a UN refugee agency for Palestinians. Over 2 million people in Gaza rely on that agency for access to aid. In a document given to the UN, Israel accuses 12 UN RWA employees of being involved in the October 7th Hamas attack, including the kidnapping of Israeli citizens, but they have yet to provide evidence. Zoe.
Well, maps are looking nice and clear. No major accidents or slowdowns to worry about early on your Tuesday morning commute. And taking a look at Tracker, it's headed south on I-25 near Lead and Coal. Definitely more cars on the road than there were an hour ago, so give yourself an extra minute on your early Tuesday morning commute.
Well, a bison was filmed slipping and sliding across a frozen creek near an entrance to Yellowstone National Park in Montana. Last week, that video posted at Creekside at Yellowstone shows the bison following its herd before losing its footing on the ice. You can see the bull right there trying to make its way across, but a little too fast before taking a slight tumble on its rear quarter there.
Time now for the 5 facts. At number 5, a New Mexico high school robotics team is preparing to take their skills to the national stage. The Tonkus robotics team from Shiprock High School traveled to Flagstaff, Arizona recently, where they brought home the Winning Alliance Trophy and the Think Award. Now we'll be competing against 2 other teams for a chance to qualify for the World Tournament. The national competition is on Phoenix on February 16th and 17th.
At number 4, New Mexico families could qualify to get extra money this year. The state has announced a new child tax credit that is worth up to $600 per qualifying child. The credit gradually decreases in value as income rises. The new credit is expected to provide nearly $180 million to more than 292,000 families in the state.
And at number 3, we're looking at a much warmer day of weather ahead of us. Look at how much warmer it's going to be compared to average, anywhere from a couple of degrees down south to upwards of 10 to nearly 20 degrees across northern New Mexico. These above average conditions will stick around through Thursday before our next storm system arrives later this week.
At number 2, a man accused of shooting and killing his dad during an argument will not spend any more time behind bars. Back in 2022, Ernest Senna Jr. got into an argument with his father. Ernest Senna Sr. pointed a gun at him and it accidentally went off. Senna Jr. pleaded no contest to the charges. Judge Bruce Fox sentenced Senna Jr. to 18 months of supervised probation. And at number 1 this morning, the governor is expressing her dismay after a proposal aimed at tackling the state's pretrial detention system was tabled in the roundhouse. Right now, if a person is arrested for a violent crime, the state has to file a pretrial detention motion, then prove that the person is a danger to the community. Senate Bill 122, if passed, would make the defense's responsibility to prove otherwise. Some Democratic lawmakers questioned the constitutionality. We have the governor's full statement on that decision on our website.